Hello and welcome to episode 34 of the Throwback podcast. I'm Mark from the Throwback store and I'm here with Devon Booker.
What, like book?
Yeah. So Shaq's wearing the Suns jersey today. Yeah, is that where you want to start? Do you want to start with the Lakers Suns?
I guess you have to, don't you? Like,
yeah,
what is that about?
It's But all I will say is, don't, like, people are saying, like, LeBron quit the other night and LeBron this and LeBron that. LeBron on his day will win a series on his own. So, and I know he's 37 now, but even still, you need to be careful. The Suns can't be getting ahead of themselves just yet.
You see, if I was a Suns fan, I'd be raging.
Why?
I'd be like, whoa. Don't rile him up.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't just
leave him. Just take the W and just walk away.
Like, he's fine.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't quit. He went for treatment. Frank Vogel's right. He went for treatment. Like,
yeah. But
but it does take you off because then it's like none of the rhetoric, none of the conversation is around how well the Suns play. It's just like, well, the Lakers haven't got AD. Or Dennis Schroeder's like a shit German sausage.
I know.
Like, he ain't doing nothing. It's just
Montrezl Harrell's
give them the respect. Like,
crazy. But
one more game. Like, the Suns get one more game and we're guaranteed to have a new NBA champion.
It's crazy because you look at the East and you look at the West. The East, it's not been competitive at all. Like, we pretty much said who was going to win. Brooklyn 4-1, Milwaukee 4-0, Atlanta 4-1, and Philly 4-1. So you look at the West, there's only Utah who are through. So Utah are through. They've beat Memphis 4-1. And then all the others are 3-2. Dallas are beating the Clippers 3-2. Denver are beating Portland 3-2. And Phoenix beating the Lakers 3-2. So it does show you how competitive the West is what I will say. But at the same time, the three best teams in the East, the Sixers, Milwaukee, and the Nets, are as good as anybody on the West, I'd say. So, swings and roundabouts, really. Swings and roundabouts in that respect.
I suppose the thing is, like, I said it on the previous pod, the East matchups are more fun. Like, you look at it now, it's what? Is it Sixers, Hawks, and then you've got Bucks Nets. Like, that's a fun matchup. Like, going forward, who will Denver play?
The winner of Phoenix LA.
That's only a good series if it's Denver versus the Lakers, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't
because
know.
with all due respect, like, don't get me wrong, I'd love the Suns to go on a historic, but it's the league MVP in Jokic versus DeAndre Ayton. It's
potential league MVP, not yet.
It will be.
Let's just
like I'm on Team Embiid. Like, I'm big up there for Joe Boy.
I know. And shout out to Joel. He needs to get healthy. That's a big thing in that Atlanta series. If we can't beat Atlanta without Embiid, though, we don't deserve to get to a championship because we've got enough tools to be beaten. Granted, Embiid's great, brilliant, one of the best players in the league. But I think we've got enough to beat Atlanta over a 7-game series.
If you're in deep water to Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. Without Embiid. But we'll see. I think he'll miss game 1 and 2, probably come back game 3 if we can get a W in one of them 2 games.
I think if you go 2-0 up, there'll be a firm conversation with the Sixers medical staff
where they
go, okay, he might be ready for 3, but we're going to leave him, and if we win 3,
how we get on. Yeah,
like if we win 3, then
leave him until the conference finals.
Like, we're going to leave him till that. Like we might play him, really reduced minutes if it goes to, for game 4, just to get him a little bit back on the court. But we're going to rehab him. We're going to.
But
it just depends, doesn't it? That's what I do. Like
I've read. Same. I would, obviously, being a Sixers fan, I've kind of looked into what he's actually got, which is a small lateral meniscus tear in his right knee. I've read a lot about it in regards to meniscus tears. I've tore my cruciate ligament before, so I know how painful a full tear is, because that's what I did. And that's painful, and that's out for 6 to 12 months with heavy rehab. But every adult knee, apparently, anybody who is an active adult or a professional sportsman or athlete will have meniscus tears just because of wear and tear on the knee. It's very rare that you have a clean knee if you're a professional athlete. Is what
I tore a couple. I tore my meniscus. I had a couple of tears years ago when I was active, sort of like kickboxing, and I never really recovered. I mean, in the end, my kneecap was in half, but that's another story.
Yeah.
You don't want it to specifically for somebody like Joel Embiid who has had injuries.
Yeah.
You don't want it to manifest itself into something bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
The last thing you'd want is a conference finals
full
Derrick Rose moment, drive to the basket.
Exactly.
Becomes injured,
Exactly. We want to rehab him properly first and foremost, and we want to get him back.
And as you said, you shouldn't need him to beat the Hawks.
I don't think so. I think we've got enough, especially with how Tobias Harris has been playing this playoffs as well. Yeah. Big night for him again last night. What I will touch on is the Hawks and Knicks, because at the beginning of the season, well, I'll start last season. It was all calls for Dolan out. Then Dipset put out a freestyle, and then the Knicks have been great again. So although we didn't really like the Dipset freestyle, and we didn't like how they were being friendly with Dolan, they might have known something we didn't, and that was that they had a decent team. And they did have...
Equally, if Newcastle got in a Champions League spot, we'd be like, that's sensational.
Yeah.
Doesn't make Mike Ashley any less of an arsehole.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's still an idiot.
So I think the same goes for sort of James Dolan. Because we've had good basketball to talk about with the Knicks, we haven't needed to concentrate on the controversies that surround the Knicks. So there could have been stuff going on. We just haven't been aware of it because they've been actually playing basketball.
Definitely. It's just a funny one, though, because I've seen people... Obviously, last season, the Knicks fans were tweeting a lot about and talking a lot about Dolan and the issues that the Knicks had. But you've not really seen much of that this year. And I'm not for that. Get behind your team. They're doing well. Keep the same energy. You can't say he's shit. You win a couple of games and now he's great. Do you know what I mean? It's got
But
to be.
I think like Knicks fans in turn are some of the most passionate.
Yeah,
This
definitely.
season for me has seen some ridiculously fair weather. You know, come out of nowhere. All of a
Knicks fan.
sudden, you know, it's New York forever. Viva la Knicks. And these are the same people that
I know. Frustrating.
you know, like they either supported a different team a couple of years ago, or now it's popular to be like, oh yeah, we like the Knicks. Like they're right, because you
Because the
know,
Knicks are
ultimately
cool.
it'd be a ball ache to fly to Dallas, but
Yeah.
or you know, like it's more expensive to fly to Boston. So I'm just gonna become a Knicks fan because it's
The Knicks are
cheaper.
cool, aren't they? The Knicks are a cool franchise in that everybody, especially if you're from the UK, the Knicks are a cool franchise because you fly to New York and you go Madison Square Garden. So it's cool, isn't it? Like, it is what it is. But
See, I was in Nighttown Tuesday in London, and I had my Yeezy 700s on, blue and orange, and
Knicks
I was
fans.
looking at the NBA range, and some guy was like, "Oh, I take it you're a Knicks fan,"
Did you punch him?
and I threw him down the escalator. No, but and I was like, "No, I'm a Bulls fan," and obviously the guy didn't particularly have an understanding of footwear,
Yeah.
regardless of being in Nighttown, because he said, "Well, why didn't get the Yeezy 700s in the Bulls colorway?" Like, because it doesn't exist. But
Anyway.
thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I'm also wearing a Bulls hat.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Literally right now wearing a Bulls hat. Uh, strange. And there's obviously a lot's gone on in Boston with Brad Stevens stepping up, Danny Ainge stepping down, and them looking for a new coach. I don't know the logic in it, me, personally.
okay.
I can't see the logic in it. I can see the logic in Danny Ainge going, like I think Mo said yesterday, he's finessed that many people now that nobody wants to speak to him, nobody wants to do any dealings with him. He's been great. He's been great. What he's brought. He's set the franchise up for a great future with two superstars, young superstars, in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But what I don't get is the Brad Stevens appointment. He's a great coach, Brad Stevens, like a very, very, especially playoff coach. Obviously, this year he's been up against it because I don't think he's had the team. And Jaylen Brown was injured and they were playing the Nets, probably the most stacked team in NBA history. So he's been up against it. But yeah, I'd have been looking for more a director than a coach, but they've gone bump Stevens up and look for somebody to come in as coach. I don't know.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Because the way that Josh Coyne he put a thing out, and it was kind of a thread. He put one out first when Ainge was stepping down. And then he said he was sort of took back by the Brad Stevens news. Brad Stevens, I believe, generally gets the Boston mentality.
Yeah.
And the way that I look at it is, if you're in a job and your boss left and your boss said to you, you know, your boss's boss said to you, you're really, really good at your job, and other companies would probably love to have you doing your job. So how about you just give this promotion a bit of a go? And ultimately, if it doesn't work out, it looks good on your CV.
And there's always the chance to step back.
And let's not mess around. Like Brad Stevens becomes, you know, president of basketball, director of operations, whatever they want to call it. And it doesn't work out. The Celtics fall out of the playoff picture next year. And the Boston Massive go crazy. They want rid of him. Well, Brad Stevens is walking into 90% of NBA teams.
Yeah, definitely.
like with a head coach position. Do you know what I mean? So he might as well give it a punt. And failing that, wouldn't shock me if it gets to the point where, like, the Celtics hire someone. If it doesn't work out, you go, "Oh, Brad Stevens is going to take back over for the time being."
Yeah.
And then, they
opportunity.
bring in somebody who knows a lot about basketball, knows the Boston mentality, and before you know it, you've got Kendrick Perkins as GM.
Yeah,
The
you've got
Celtics.
yeah, and then that's it. That's big Kendrick is living the dream. Right.
But no, I think it's interesting to see. It feels weird. It might seem like a premature promotion. A lot of people probably thought he didn't have a great deal of tutelage as a coach. He's had one head coaching job. But I suppose even now, like, if you were to turn around and be like, Greg Popovich is going to become a GM and director of, at the Spurs, nobody would argue that. Yes, he's won championships and whatnot, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you see it. But they're on about Danny Ainge going. He's retired, but they're on about him going to the Jazz.
It's mad. It's mad. It's mad.
You know what I mean?
The playoffs has been mad. Everything's been mad. It's been a lot going on. But big games tonight. LA, Dallas, Denver, Portland, or tomorrow night. Is it tonight? Oh no, it's not. When is it? Is it the weekend now?
Yeah.
Is it the 6th? Or is it the 3rd? Wait a minute. Let me look.
All right.
Don't want to be putting out false information. What even is the date today? The 3rd. Games. Thursday. Yeah. Yeah. Tonight. Is today Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got Denver and.
If you listen to the pod, it's a Friday. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. So you've got Denver, Portland, and the Suns, the Lakers tonight. And then tomorrow, you've got the Clippers, Mavs. Well, it's leading into the day after, obviously, because we're in the UK. So, crazy times. But, talking of crazy times, yeah. Got sent a picture by Sam Blake with the NBA Heritage. I'm going to do this. Heritage Edition jerseys. I think this is just a mock-up that somebody's done online.
Yeah, I think so. Mainly because we've seen in hand, we've seen in hand what a couple would look like.
Yeah, and the fact that Oklahoma have used a Seattle jersey, and I think that's just a kind of poke too far because people are calling for Seattle to come back.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot to do with the fact that if you look at it, I've got it up on because I'm basically backwards. My laptop was dead. If you look at it, there's no two ways about it. There's lots of ats at the bottom of the pictures.
Yes, there is, and that I'm assuming
that have designed potential jerseys.
Yeah, and they've had a hand in developing this.
Because obviously some of them are quite cool.
I like the 6th one.
I've just looked at that. That's all right. The Miami Heat ones they've got and the New York Knicks one. Like these are just mock-ups, like 100%.
Yeah.
Categorically. What I like about the Boston one is it's still boring. The Magic one is still just a Magic jersey.
Yeah.
The Lakers one is basically a jersey they've got already. The Blazers one is just a red Blazers jersey, but instead of Portland, it says Blazers.
Yeah.
The Chicago one is, well, it's going to be nice anyway because it's scripture and pinstripe.
Yeah.
So, the NOLA one looks like one they had a couple of years ago anyway.
It does.
The Atlanta one, well, that bangs, but it's not as nice as the one with the actual hawk on it.
Yeah, the yellow one that they're bringing back.
The Pistons one, I hope they don't bring that one back looking anything like that, because there's no good enough players that deserve the credit of wearing that.
Definitely.
The Jazz one is just basically another let's make it purple and stick Jazz on it. The Toronto is just purple. The Houston is boring as buggery because it's just black with Houston. So all in all,
a load of shit.
My conclusion is they're all fake. They're not real. Some twazzic will stick them on DHgate. You'll all buy them.
And then
you maddos. Although I went to Camden yesterday and I got 9 NBA jerseys for £6. And they're all legit reals.
There you go.
I've got a Giannis LeBron Capone. I've got a Jason Brownton.
Oh my God.
And I've got a Brooklyn Nets Jura Harding.
Yeah. Jura Hardon.
Yeah. Well, it's Durarden. Gerarding.
Yeah.
It's like I spoke to the guy there, Christoph. Assures me they're legit. Legit real jerseys.
Christoph.
And what was even cooler about the Nets one that was in Irving was that it was a Mitchell and Ness.
It was
with a Nike tick on it.
They're the best ones, them.
You know when you just want to get pictures to send to you?
Yeah.
But like
hard, isn't it?
It's not
appropriate.
Yeah, like Boss Man stood there the entire time. And he knows that I know.
That he knows.
That they're not real.
You know. I was gonna I might go. I'm in London tomorrow and Saturday, so I might venture over to Camden at some point.
Like obviously Camden is amazing for food and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I did have to laugh at some of the jerseys. Like even the other half was just like they just look so fake.
Terrible.
Like, oh yeah, like they're not even the right color.
Talking of things that are dropping that aren't fake, though, moving swiftly on. It's basically just all dunks for summer this year, isn't it?
You know how much I love dunks.
I know. I thought that. There was some Jordans dropped this morning. The Jordan, I'll tell you what they were called.
They were a woman's model, weren't they?
Yes. Yeah. The white and purple. I can't think what they were called. Oh. But they dropped this morning. They
were nice.
They were nice, actually. And then I was thinking they're nice, but then I was thinking, what would I wear them with?
A Sacramento Kings jersey.
Exactly.
Or this jersey.
You could, but I only wear Sixers jerseys, so I'm a bit stuck, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I did like. They look clean. They did look clean. So, shout out to anybody who caught them. I think they just called the woman's Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG Woman's Court Purple. Is what
standard.
Yeah.
I also managed to get my hands on a PSG jersey and have a look at it in person. It is as nice as we thought.
Okay.
The entire range is nice. And also the Jordan 6 they've released for it
is dope.
Bangs.
Was that at Nike Town?
So yeah, the PSG
Nike Town?
So yeah, the PSG range was at Nike Town.
I
They've dedicated probably like half a floor to it. And then like the shoe, I seen that in Offspring in Camden.
I might head down to Nike Town whilst I'm in London just to look about.
And what was nice as well is a couple of WNBA items.
Oh, was there?
That at Nike Town was cool. No jerseys, but just a couple of t-shirts and whatnot. It's always nice to see.
Definitely always nice to see. The other sneaker releasing is the Nike Dunk Low UNC Blue. That's dropping tomorrow.
Which I'm not against.
Yeah.
Just because it's UNC Blue.
Yeah. I went to Cheshire Oaks yesterday, which is like an outlet kind of thing near where I live. Shout out to anybody from that area. And I went in the Converse shop there. Went in the Nike shop, got a couple of bits. Went in the Converse shop, bought some Converse. Bought these Converse, actually. Yeah, bought some Converse.
Is that to go with your Skull Disco Flame shirt?
Yes, it is. It is.
Or your Flame Mitchell Ness jersey.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, but in there they had the Converse Pro Leather, the white and blue, and they were the same price as these. So these were priced at $34.90 something, like cheap. The Pro Leather were priced at the same price, and I was thinking, do we just buy them just because they're just in the outlet store just for the sake of it? I was like, yeah, it was like and ahhing. So when I finally got to the till with these, it was an extra £10 off. So these only cost like £24. And after I'd left and we were like on our way back and the traffic was horrendous, I was like, does that mean them Pro Leathers would have been like $24.97 as well? So I think I'm going to head back there at some point and grab them. Just a nice one to have in the collection in the North Carolina colours, because that's what Jordan wore, wasn't it? And for £24, it's like a no-brainer.
And then you can let me know if they've got any more.
Yeah,
buy me a pair.
Yeah, and I can grab you a pair in your size. But they also.
But no, I think they're a classic shoe. Like, yeah. I think they're cool.
Yeah.
And they probably don't get the respect they deserve, I guess. Like, yeah.
You just hate dunks, but you love Carolina blue.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm also happy to admit that I'll be a Judas at some point.
Yeah.
And I will try and get a pair of dunks.
Yeah. What size shoes are you?
7.5.
Right, because there's also a pair of Kobe's at the Nike outlet yesterday. And they were size 8s. Right. I've never seen them before. They were called... I'll have to try and find a picture. I'll put it on the pod and I'll send it over to you.
Yeah.
They were like white and gold, and they had like a blue sole. They're like an offshoot of the Mamba, whatever. But
is it the Mamba Fury?
Maybe. Let me
because I know they were kind of released as almost like just a complete lifestyle model of the Mamba shoe. A lot of NBA coaches are wearing them.
Nah,
because
they did look like them, but it weren't them.
Like the Bulls team, like when we announced our new GM and that, he had a pair of them on, but in like obviously the Bulls colorway, and it was like heaven for me, because like I do like Kobe's, and I also like obviously
they were
colorway.
I'll tell you what they were called. I've just found them here. The Mamba Focus, they were called.
Okay.
right? And I'll show you a picture because now you've said you're in a 7.5. I feel bad for not getting them. Let's see if I can make that a little bit bigger. If you can see them.
Yeah, no, they're not bad. Like, they're not bad.
Yeah, they were all right.
They're just, but they're also a shoe that's just going to get manky dead quick.
Yeah, definitely. But so they were, it worked out at about 45 quid. And I was like, dude,
didn't it?
we're not getting, but you can just drop on in the outlets, can't you? You can definitely drop on.
Yeah, I mean, I popped into the one in Oxford, St. Pancras, on the day I arrived and the day I left. And that was like, I mean, it's an outlet, so you give and take, but it was weak. Like, it was weak. There was like, usually I've been in there before and there's been like jerseys for like, like 25 quid and like hoodies and whatever, but there was nothing. I think equally Nike are also realizing now that NBA stuff doesn't particularly depreciate.
Yeah.
Like, unless a player leaves.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen?
I mean, they spent ages trying to get rid of IT Cleveland jerseys, so.
I know. Have you seen the post that Vanessa Bryant put out about just to stick on the Jordan, the Kobe's, just while we're on it? I wasn't even going to bring this up. This wasn't even. It's just come to my head. So have you seen the Mambasita Kobe's, the black with the GG and the Kobe? So a lot of controversy around this now, especially in the UK, because people had bought another pair of Kobe's, but they've received these Kobe's before they've been released. So these Kobe's haven't been released yet. I'll show you the ones that I'm talking about. I'll flick them up. They haven't been released, but people have bought a different Kobe, the gold ones, with the blue and red tick. I can't remember what they're called.
The Hall of Fame ones?
Yes. And they've received these Mambasita Kobe's. Well, Vanessa Bryant's put a post out, I think it was 4 hours ago, actually, saying that she's not even received a pair of them and that she wanted these to be exclusives, like that she could not to be released, basically. And people are getting hold of them before she's even had her pair or her daughters had their pair. So, yeah, she's kicking off basically saying she hopes they wasn't sold because they was never supposed to go on sale, apparently, is what she was.
But there was talk of them being the last ever Kobe shoe.
Yeah, but it says here what the thing was. She says, I wanted it to be sold to one of my daughter with all of the proceeds benefiting our Mambasita Sports Foundation, but I did not re-sign the Nike contract and decided not to sell these shoes. So a lot of controversy on the back of that will be coming. I think if Nike have gone against the word to a grieving wife, ethically and morally, a lot of questions need to be asked. Like, what are you doing? And we spoke about this. Can Nike still release Kobe's? Can Nike release Kobe's from back in the day? Can Nike athletes still wear Kobe's if they're no longer signed? And if Nike have done this, or they are going to sell this shoe, regardless of Vanessa Bryant's feelings on it, I think a boycott might be in order because I don't. That's terrible.
I have said, like as we've said before, the players that have, like we've seen it when the Mambasita range came out. Like Kyrie bought all of the Nets team one.
Yeah.
Booker was wearing one. Bron was wearing one. Tatum, like all of the big names in the league. Luka, which is great for the Mambasita Foundation. Love that. I think Nike might now realize that players don't have to wear Kobe's if they don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it would be a much bigger thing if, rather than them just stop wearing them, if Nike athletes don't, by any stretch of the imagination, alter their contract, because they aren't contracted to wear Kobe's, I assume.
Just contracted to wear Nikes, yeah.
If they just don't wear them.
Yeah. Well, if this...
Because it'd be a bigger thing, because you imagine D-Book making the game-winning shot.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't wear Kobe's.
I know.
Like, it's we don't know the ins and outs of it. It's not particularly nice. I hope Nike haven't done that. Our good friend, Mr. Elliot Wade, has strong views on Nike's moral ethics anyway.
Yeah.
It would be particularly upsetting if they did. I'm hoping they haven't. And yeah.
Strange. Anyway, I just thought I'd just kind of chuck that
Yeah,
in.
no, I mean, I think it's like you said, it's a topic that we've almost got ahead of. By the time this pod goes out, there may be some more information on it, and if there is, then there may be a nice, a corporate release from Nike to say it's been a mistake. There might be a retraction from Vanessa Bryant.
Yeah.
If there isn't, then obviously it's pretty shameful. Like there's going against the grieving wife.
Yeah.
And a grieving mother. And then there's going against the grieving wife and the grieving mother that tragically just so happens to be Kobe Bryant's wife.
Yeah. And it's that thing as well of, well, obviously this is completely off what we were talking about. We were talking about new releases, but like it's all the backdooring. It's all these companies backdooring these shoes and giving them to people to resell. But this may be one of those shoes that wasn't meant to be backdoored. That is stored in the same place as all the other shoes, but you've backdoored something. So somebody working somewhere, if that's the case, obviously I know in the UK a couple got sent out, from what I can gather. But for Vanessa Bryant to see people over here have that shoe, I'd find that very difficult. But you never know. The sneaker community's big, isn't it? Maybe. But yeah. Anyway, I'll stick to what we was talking about, which was dunk releases, which you absolutely love. The Fragment Nike Dunks, the City Pack Beijing Wine Black look actually really cool. I actually do like them. Dark purple and black. You still don't like them. But yeah, Fragment do some nice shoes. I'm looking forward to the Fragment Travis Scotts that are coming out soon, the blue ones.
Oh, that's what I like about that is that's like hype, beast on beast hype.
Yeah.
It's like you all want Fragment.
You all want Travis. You all want Jordans.
So let's just blow your absolute bejizzle.
Yeah, and then the other release is the Nike SB Dunk Low Classic Green. So a lot of dunks. We thought last year was the year of the dunk. Maybe it's followed through and it's continued this year.
Well, apparently the next Off-White collection is the 1-50. And they're all dunks.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. So that's some sneaker news for you. Maybe we've got a head of a story there. Who knows? Nobody asked any questions this week because all people were bothered about was who won the competition. Who won the competition? Who won the competition? I said, watch the podcast or listen to the podcast. Ryan Bellany, he didn't say I said it wrong, so I'm assuming I said it right, won the competition and bagged himself a Nuggets Mutombo.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
Solid choice. I respect that.
Yeah.
Like, he could have bought something crap like a Celtics jersey or a Sixers, but he went He went Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he did. He went for a nice one.
Yeah, to be fair, like Mitchell and Ness Bulls, like they're 10 in a million, aren't they?
Yeah. Not talking about that anymore. So we've come to the end of the pod, but the one last thing.
Just this episode, like we're not.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're still going to be back at some point, probably next Friday. But favorite player with number 34.
I mean, I've obviously based on name got to go for Shaq, and I.
Yeah. So Shaq.
But there is, I'll let you name yours, and then we'll go through some of the honourable mentions.
The first one that comes to mind is Shaq. Obviously, as a Sixers fan, Barkley wore number 34 at the Sixers. I've got the number 32 jersey. But I tell you a shout out to the guys at National Vintage League because they've sourced me a Barkley chalk line Fanimation jacket, which is on its way, which is dope. I'll show it you on the next pod. It is an insane piece that I've been looking for in a size large for years. I've had Jordan ones on the Throwback store in the past, but a Barkley one, it's like rocking horse shit. So I was happy to add that to the collection. That's on its way. And shout out to everybody who copped as well during the bank holiday sale. That was a big one. But back to 34. I'm going with Barkley.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yes. Are we just going to start naming people now?
Well, no, I think what's ironic is like one of the best players to have wear 34 for the Bucks is Ray Allen.
Yeah.
And he will probably never have his jersey retired by the Bucks now.
Because Giannis will.
Because Giannis wore it.
Yeah.
And also, Giannis isn't going to change his number.
Because he's Giannis.
Yeah.
So
that one.
Unless he goes to the Lakers.
He can still wear 34 at the Lakers, though, couldn't he?
Isn't Shaq's number retired?
Yeah, but he didn't. No, it is actually, yeah. There's that many numbers retired for the Lakers,
I know. How many numbers can you wear? Like, that's why LeBron changed his number to 6 in Miami, because they retired Jordan's number, didn't they?
And obviously he was just fully aware that he couldn't live up to MJ.
Yeah. Paul Pierce was 34. Good player.
Even better Instagram Liver.
Yeah, even better in the strip club. But yeah, we could go all night with 34, so I think we'll just leave it at that for now.
The next one will be interesting because I firmly believe there's only one player synonymous with that number.
35?
So, yeah.
I know a 35. He's on my wall. Who's your 35?
KD at the Thunder.
Clarence Weatherspoon at the Sixers. There you go.
Nobody ever thought that Clarence Weatherspoon at the Sixers would be uttered in the same sentence as Kevin Durant at the Thunder.
I know, because Clarence Weatherspoon was better.
Probably not a snake.
Yeah, definitely not a snake. Anyway, we're done on that note. And we will see you on episode 35 with Kevin Durant and Clarence Weatherspoon. Yeah, thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And we shall see you on the next one. Peace.